Hello and welcome to the Flipping and Wholesaling Houses in New York show. I'm Michael Pinter. I teach you how to start flipping and wholesaling houses, or if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. I am in Griffiths Park on a trail. I don't know where the hell I am in LA, and it's LA behind me. But I figure I have 10 minutes. I'll make a quick video. So, question today is, are closing costs tax deductible? So a couple things. First of all, I am not an accountant, right? I am not a CPA. You should not be taking tax advice from me. Crazily, I do get a lot of questions about taxes. Now, unfortunately, a lot of them are from people who have never done a deal. So let me try to give you a good parable. Asking about taxes before you've done a deal is sort of like asking where your kid's going to go to college before they're born. It's just something that you don't have to think about, to be honest. And I get calls all the time about it. It's a little nuts. So just to go off on a tangent before I even answer the question, if you stay to the end, I'll talk to you a little bit about taxes, more about taxes. But the question, I get a lot of questions. The three most popular questions I get that really don't have a good answer are, what contract do I use? How do I find an investor-friendly title company? And how much inspection contingency should I put into my contracts? Now, a couple things. In New York, you do not prepare a contract. The seller's attorney prepares a contract. You don't need to know anything about which contract to use. And I know people go on the internet and they hear from good people, good gurus, who tell them to, yeah, use my contract, but it doesn't work in New York. In New York, the entire real estate process is different than in the other 49 states, right? In the other 49 states, the real estate process really, the real estate transaction takes place between a buyer and a seller. In New York, a real estate transaction takes place between a seller's attorney and a buyer's attorney. And the seller's attorney is going to prepare that contract. And there's no inspection contingencies in New York because all inspections get done before contract in New York. And as to why, it's probably because attorneys don't want to prepare a contract if there's an easy way out. So when I'm selling a property and we agree to a buyer's price, they actually do the contract. They actually do the inspection before the contract's done. So there's no outs in New York. In the other 49 states, it's very common. You go to contract, let's say, well, I have 14 days to do an inspection, that kind of thing. But that's because it's easy to get into contract in 49 states and it's harder in New York. And the other one is investor-friendly title company. No such thing in New York. You want an investor-friendly attorney. Sorry. Good morning. You want an investor-friendly attorney, but title companies are irrelevant in New York because they're basically service providers. They don't manage a transaction like they do in the other 49 states. And there's no real investor-friendly component of them. Their job as a title company in New York is simply to make sure the taxes are paid, make sure the liens are paid off, the mortgage is paid off. That's it. They are simple service providers. They don't manage the transaction. Now, when it comes to our closing costs tax deductible, the answer in a nutshell is basically yes. I mean, if you buy a property for, let's say, $200,000 and you have $10,000 in closing costs, which is very common in New York, your real cost is $210,000. If you then sell it for, let's say, $250,000 and you have another $10,000 or $15,000 in costs, then your net price is going to be $240,000 or $235,000, and you are going to not pay taxes on the difference between your net buy price, which in this case is $210,000, and your net sale price, which in this case is $235,000, let's say. So you're only going to have a $25,000 gain instead of a $50,000 gain because of your costs. All your costs can be tax deductible. That's on an investment property. It is on any property buy. When you buy something, there's a net buy price and a net sell price, and that includes costs. Now, costs in New York are astronomically high. The numbers I gave you are not far off. I figure $10,000 in costs every time I buy something, and I figure, I wonder if I should move off of here. I don't think I can record the video. It's very steep. I don't know if you can see, but I'm about to go down this tiny little trail that I'm on top of here. Going down there. Yeah, I should not be recording while I'm doing this, but it's such a nice view. I don't know if you can see from behind me. It's Los Angeles. It's beautiful there. This mosquitoes are killing me. So yeah, closing costs are tax deductible in the effect of figuring in your net buy price and your net sale price. So, and again, I am not a CPA, but I would say that you can always figure in your costs are going to increase your purchase price and reduce your sale price because they are a big part of business. Now, as I was saying before, $10,000 in closing costs is not uncommon in New York. And people say, well, where the hell does that come from? First, you have a legal fee, $2,000-$3,000. Then you have title charges, also going to be, depending on the size of the transaction, $3,000 to $4,000. You are going to have, what else do you have in New York when you buy? Look at those beautiful birds that are below me, soaring. What else? So you're gonna have title service charges. You're gonna pay any taxes, any property taxes that are due in a short time, within 90 days. You're gonna have to eat that. Sometimes that's big, because in Nassau County there can be multiple taxes. Sometimes they're due, Suffolk County is once a year. So I mean, I once bought a property and I couldn't believe it was like $13,000 in taxes I had to pay at the closing. So it's a big deal. And then on the sale, if you're using a realtor, I'm a realtor myself, but I still, very often the buyer has his own agent, so that's going to take, let's say, 2%. So I'm in a $500,000. This guy coming up here? No, $500,000 sale price. That's already $10,000. Then you have transfer tax, which is $4 per thousand. And someone's calling me when I'm going to decline. And you have a lot of costs. So it's easy. It's very typical to have, let's say, $15,000 costs on a sale or more, depending on the size. So I'm going to try and go down this because I'm standing up here. I feel like a schmuck. So those are in effect tax deductible. Now, if you just buy a property, right, you haven't sold it, so you're not listing the transaction sale on your taxes, then if I get down this while I'm doing this video, this will be amazing. Then taxable event hasn't happened, right? So if I buy a property and I have $10,000 of closing costs, for example, I can't deduct it from my taxes if I haven't sold it at the end of the calendar year. I cannot believe how many mosquitoes there are, and I cannot believe how steep this is. I didn't even think about this coming. Look at this. Look, I got to show you this thing I'm going down right now. It's crazy. It's coming straight down. Okay. So I really should be using both my hands and not be holding this. But after you sell something, that's when a taxable event really takes place. The buy, if you just own a property short term because you are planning to sell it or flip it, whatever you're doing to it. So there is no real taxable event that happens just on the buy. It's only after the sale. So after the sale, then all your closing costs on the buy and the sale are deductible. So it's basically a simple answer, but it's not so simple because the truth is any closing costs are tax deductible, but not really deductible. They just affect your. Are you deducting it from your taxes? Yeah, I guess you're deducting it from the taxable gain that you're going to have, or increase the loss if you lose money, God forbid, which does happen. They say you're not a real investor until you've lost money. Believe me, I'm a real investor. Unfortunately, I have lost money on deals. If you do enough deals, you can lose money. I have a good friend. He may be watching, Greg Helbeck, who was bitching about a deal he lost like a few $1,000s on. I'm like, dude, thank God that's the most you lost on that deal. So sometimes you gotta bite the bullet and take a loss. I think, as the market's going to shift, right? I'm filming this in October of 2021, and I think it's ridiculous to think that the market's going to continue to go up forever. It's going to go down, and when it goes down, I might get caught with some deals and I may take a loss. I'm okay with that. A lot of people are trying to time the market. I think it's stupid. No way to time the market. Nobody knows when things shift, and things shift in different markets at different times. So I'm hearing people in other markets say, oh, it's slowing down, but I don't know if it's slowing down by in the New York suburbs yet. And I don't care, as long as you're buying things at a discount. Woo, okay, as long as you're buying things at a discount, you're not gonna, at a deep enough discount, you're not gonna take a bad loss. So I think it's important to understand. There's Griffith Observatory over there. It's important to understand that the idea that you're going to time the market is ridiculous. You have to just continue to do what you're doing. I know a lot of people that were in this business back in 2007, 2008. Some of them got hurt, but the good ones are still in business. And I think it's important to not worry about when the market's going to shift, just to keep buying properties at a discount and making money on them. That's what I do. So I hope this was helpful. If you are interested in all the ways that can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. If you are interested in my course that teaches how to do what I do, go to howtoflipnewyorkcourse.com. If you're interested in finding out more about one-on-one coaching, go to coaching.howtoflipnewyork.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you're watching on any channel, please click thumbs up. They help my search engine optimization. Hopefully I can get down this mountain without falling on my ass. And please keep the comments coming. Comments help me. I post 5 times a week. Sometimes I don't know what to talk about, so the comments really give me ideas to talk about. And there's no bad comments. It doesn't even have to be about the topic that you're watching on the video. If it's a simple answer, I'll just reply with an answer. If it's a topic I've dealt with, I will send you a link to the video. And if it's something that I haven't covered, I'll do a new video on it. So thank you very, very much for watching.